I'm here with April Burrell, star of the Chainsaw Sally Show, Chainsaw Sally, and a bunch of other projects. So, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
Glad to hear. So, how did you get started with the Chainsaw Sally Show for what you're most famous for?
Well, the show actually evolved because, okay, the movie happened first. The Chainsaw Sally movie, which we actually filmed in 2000, well, most of it in 2003, finished it up in 2004, and it was released in 2007 because in the indie world it takes 1,000 years to get anything distributed. Um, but then we had planned on making a sequel and got so frustrated trying to get funding for it that we looked around. We had all of these resources. We had investors for a previous project, the Good Sisters, and through that we had gotten some really good cameras, great lighting. We have all these talented friends, and a lot of them have free time on the weekends. So we decided that the Chainsaw Sally Show web series could happen without any budget, which is exactly how we decided to do it. We had all the talent. We just needed to spend some time on it. And we had a platform. We could just put it up on the web, which is, it's a free platform for everybody. And that's what we decided to do.
And you also managed to get some notable guest stars on there for a fairly low budget affair. How did you come about getting some of those?
Um, well, like which one? I guess. Well, Debbie, we've been friends with for a while, and Debbie Rashawn. Sorry, I say Debbie like everybody knows who I'm talking about. Debbie Rashawn started working with us because she co-starred with me in The Good Sisters, and we gotten to be friends anyway over starting at meeting up at conventions together, and then just hitting it off between me and Jimmy and her are all good friends. So when we asked her, "Do you want to come play with us and be a psychic prostitute?" How could she resist? So, Monique Dupree, kind of the same thing. We've gotten to know her and her husband Saint through conventions, and she's in Baltimore. So I don't know if she's still in Baltimore, but she's in the area. And so we've met up at a lot of things, and every time we meet up, we have fun, and we're like, oh, we gotta work together sometime. So in a lot of cases, it's just a case of, hey, we're doing this fun thing. You want to come play? Sure.
Now, the Chainsaw Sally Show season one was released on DVD by Troma. However, I believe season two was released independently through you guys. Is that correct?
Yes, and actually, season one was originally distributed by us, and we weren't going to go with a distributor for it. We wanted to keep it ourselves, but after I guess it was, I don't know, maybe it was a year or so of dealing with self distribution, which is fine, but it's a little bit, it's a lot of work. So Troma actually approached us and said, "Hey, we're interested in picking this up for you." And we're like, "Well, we weren't going to, but if Troma picks it up, they have a huge audience." And we didn't make a ton of money off it, of course. Troma's not somebody you go to if you want to make a lot of money for distribution, but a lot of people who normally wouldn't have looked at our product picked it up just because it said Troma on it, which is honestly, I've picked up things just because they have Troma on it and been very pleased with the results. So
Uh,
that's how we hooked up with Troma. And then we decided with the second season, we were doing fine on our own at that point, and decided just to keep it within our own ranks.
all right. And at the last convention I was at, they actually sold out the Chainsaw Sally show day one.
Yeah, they're very happy with us.
So, so now, are you working on season three, or is there? See, I would assume season three, or are you done with the Chainsaw Sally show?
Oh gosh, we don't know what we're doing. We are set to do like 5,000 different things. All these projects poised. All we're doing is waiting to see which one the investors want. Right now, the big thing we're working on, and I can't say who it's with because nothing's signed yet, but the big thing we're working on is actually a cartoon of Chainsaw Sally, which will be so awesome. So it'll be an animated series. Like, of course, not for kids. It won't be for children. Don't show it to your children unless you hate your children. It's going to be for grown-ups, but it'll be an animated series. We'll be doing the voicing for it. Jimmy's got is designing all of the characters, and he's actually put out a lot of artwork to just kind of preview for people. Um, and it's going to be kind of the same setting. It's going to be in Porterville, same basic characters, and we're bringing in some good celebrity names. And it's so frustrating that I just can't say anything
Oh,
yet. But celebrities we have not worked with before that people will be very excited to find out are working with us on the animated series. Right now, that looks like that's going to be the next thing to happen.
awesome. Now, what are some other upcoming projects you have? If you're allowed
We
to speak.
I know it's frustrating. Well, we as far as we're not totally abandoning live action, Sally. So there might be a season 3, or there might be a whole nother feature. We're not sure what's going to happen with that. Jimmy's got scripts. He writes so fast. He's got scripts written out for just about anything. As soon as somebody says, "How about this? Can you write up a script for it?" and it's done in a weekend. So
Dang.
he writes obsessively. He's one of those people. That's how we get all this stuff done. We've also got one that's been written and has been set to film for a while. Not a Chainsaw Sally feature. It's called The Darling Clementines, and I'm really excited to do it. It's twisted, very very twisted. I've talked about it a little bit before, but we haven't gotten to production yet. But I think it's going to be happening soon. It'll be myself, Debbie Rochon again, because we love to work with her, and I think Nicole Ray are going to be 3 sisters living out in the wilds of Appalachia, brought up by their crazy mother, who I would say is a crazy Bible thumping Christian, but that's really insulting to Bible thumping Christians because she has a really twisted view of what Christianity is. This woman basically has brought her daughters up with the concept that it's time for them to procreate. They've grown up, and now it's time for them to do their godly duty and breed. But men are also pigs and horrible things, and you shouldn't ever let one have any dignity. So they have to go out and capture some menfolk and breed them. And there you go.
That kind of seems to be a theme in most of the stuff you're in.
Jimmy likes strong women. That's how that stuff works.
I'm sure you could pick me up, so I'm sure you're a very strong woman. So, is there anything else you would like to talk about or promote while I have you on here?
Let's see. Well, those are the big upcoming projects. Anything else I'm doing is like local theater, so I don't know if that would really apply to nationwide listeners. If you're not living in Maryland and Harford County, it won't make much sense. No, those are the big promos right now.
Are you going to be making any convention appearances?
Oh, yes, I am. Let's see. In October, I'll be at Epicon in Ohio. And I think it's June. The last weekend in June, there's a Scares the Care convention in Williamsburg, Virginia, and I'll be at that one. And Jimmy will be there with me, of course. And we will be promoting. Oh, we are also speaking of projects we're doing. We're doing a total remastered version of the original Chainsaw Sally movie that will hopefully be out pretty soon. And it looks amazing because the one that is distributed that people have seen, for whatever reason, when the people at Pop Cinema, when they got it, it was surround sound and had all this stuff going on audio. They squashed it.
Oh,
so
dear.
It's mono sound. So it's one of our biggest complaints on it was the sound is awful. And we're going, what are you talking about? It's pretty good. So they've gone through, our editors have gone through and put back in all the noises that are supposed to be there. And of course, now that we've learned so much more about filmmaking, the colors are adjusted and the pacing's added back in. There's a little bit more gore for those who want to see some squishy stuff. So it's actually a really, really nice overhaul of the film, and hopefully we'll be putting that out pretty soon.
Awesome. Is there any chance of any Chainsaw Sally stuff on Blu-ray?
Maybe this remastered edition might come out on Blu-ray, actually.
Awesome. And that would be distributed through you guys or through the company that did the first one?
It won't be. I don't know who's doing it right now because we are in talks with people who I can't mentions.
Ah, sorry about
It'll
that.
be out. I swear to God. I swear somebody's going to put this thing out, and we'll let everybody know.
Apparently, the local theater is one of the few things you can officially talk about.
Yeah, I know. Yes, I'm officially going to be in this theater thing, and it's called Rogue Swan, and it's great, and well, whatever.
All right. Well, do you have any last words before I let you go to all your fans?
I would say thanks for being fans. I love you all very much, and keep enjoying horror. And I hope I get to see you at Epithon in Ohio and Scares of Care in Williamsburg.
Oh, one last thing. Would you like to promote any websites, shall we say? Forgot to ask about that.
We shall say you could go to chainsawsallyshow.com, and we have some goodies on there. The online store is open again, so there's photos and posters and goodies like that for your viewing pleasure. And of course, I sign everything because that's how I am.
And also, just for some of the listeners, some of the stuff in the store may be not safe for work.
Yeah, yes. Just assume that it's not safe for work. Just assume that before you even go on.
All right. Well, thank you, April. I thank you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to talk with us.
Well, thanks for having me on.
No problem. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.